A forum for black entrepreneurs trying to start a business in Britain. 50 years after landmark race equality legislation, and some are finding that barriers still exist.
It is more subtle, and it is more sort of behind closed doors. So whilst people say that we've moved on, I think that the position essentially has remained the same.
The Race Relations Act of 1965 transformed the social landscape of Britain, a country of empire that attracted migrants from across the Commonwealth looking for work following World War II. Prejudice based on colour became the norm. In 1958, riots in the overcrowded London suburb of Notting Hill were a catalyst for change.
When the riots took place, it made everything, oh, so they've got houses, they want to live here. And blimey, they're going to stay. And I think that was a sort of national shock, and it brought the issue to the surface.
Veteran race campaigner Trevor Phillips.
We haven't got race equality, but let's bear in mind, this is a very different country to the one that my parents came to, where you could say what you liked about people, you could exclude them from homes and jobs. You can't do that today. If nothing else, that legislation has changed the mood and sentiment in this country dramatically.
The streets of Notting Hill today, things don't get much more contrasting than this. Now home to the uber-rich, the immigrant slums, long gone. But despite huge achievements in the UK over the past 5 decades, campaigners say that the stain of racism remains. Race has played a part, along with poverty and social exclusion, in riots that have taken place in every decade since. And one of the authors of a new report on equality says existing legislation doesn't go far enough.
There's less overt racism on the streets today. People are less vulnerable to being beaten up and killed. But there still is covert racism. If you look at outcomes in the labour market, you have to send in twice as many CVs if you have an Asian or African-sounding surname. That's the government's own commissioned report on the topic. If you look at stop and search, black people are 6 times more likely to be stopped by the police. So these are areas of life where black and minority ethnic people don't have equal outcomes in our society.
Another change 50 years on is that the problem today extends well beyond black and white. In multi-ethnic modern Britain, competition for resources crosses religious, cultural and colour lines, stretching tolerance to its outer limits. Jonah Hull, Al Jazeera, London.